A very good evening to everybody and welcome to this next in our live stream series. This is Christopher Dygan coming to you from our home in KwaZulu-Natal in our Music Revival online program. Today is the 13th of October, this is Wednesday, and that means that it is piano hour, our informal, relaxed, and in this particular sequence of monthly programs. Up tonight is our program called World Cafe, where I play music from around the world, from South America, from North America, from Europe, even maybe some local compositions, one of my own. And also, as popularly requested by popular demand, I play these from memory, so there's no iPad reading along the road. And I hope you're going to enjoy this selection of music, which I know quite well, most of it, and I'm quite comfortable with. And we have got some changes. We've changed some of the decor, some of the furniture around, a few other changes here and there you'll see as we go through our stream. And I am going to end off this evening's program with the substantial selection of 3 compositions by Frédéric Chopin. Again, I've been watching the International Chopin competition live from Warsaw, Poland. And if you aren't already, or if you're interested in this music, or you're interested in contemporary, really top, amazingly brilliant piano playing of young pianists under the age of 25, I think is the age limit, 29, I think. 28 to 29. This is taking place all of this last week as well as next week. It's viewable live on YouTube at the Chopin Institute. It's a fantastic production, and I've learned so much about playing, watching this. I thought, well, I had to see if I could find some inspiration for myself this evening, so I'm going to end off with 3 compositions by Chopin, including the wonderful Barcarolle Opus 60. And that Barcarolle brings us into the theme or the mood for this evening, because today has been an absolute scorcher. I think it's been 36, 38 degrees here. This is real summer has arrived. You can see the flowers are springing forth. There's heat. I've got the fan going. I'm really trying to keep cool in this evening's weather. And you can see, there we go, the air conditioning's just reappeared after the load shedding. That means load shedding is over. And I'm going to turn that off in a second. But this evening's program is all inspired by summer, by the heat of summer, and by a beautiful summer mood. So excuse me for a minute just to get rid of this aircon. And away it goes. Oopsie, didn't expect that. Put my microphone back in place, get my hair into place again. Right, so I am going to start off this evening's program with 2 tangos, South American tangos by Ernesto Nazareth. I'm going to play quite a chunk of music to start. 2 tangos by Ernesto Nazareth. First of all, a piece called Excited or Rancinza, followed by a very excitable and very jolly up-tempo little piece called Braillera, both Ernesto Nazareth compositions. The second, Braillera, as I always say, has somewhat been adopted by the Brazilian people as a unofficial national anthem, a very popular unofficial folk tune. Straight after that, I am going to play a piece of music by Isaac Albéniz. We need some Spanish music for the heat this evening, and his beautiful serenade, which is called Granada. He composed in the suite Española a number of pieces, each one relating to a different region of Spain. I'm hoping to actually bring you that whole suite in the next couple of weeks, but this is the opening number, Granada, a serenade, very gentle atmosphere of a heated night, I think. And then ending off that section of 4 pieces with the great contrast, but a contemporary piece by the American film composer Dave Grusin, the theme from the film On Golden Pond. So again, this outdoor atmosphere of tranquility and heat pervades through all of these pieces, starting off with the rhythm and the excitement of South America and then leading into great calmness. So this is 2 Ernesto Nazareth tangos, Granada from Isaac Albéniz and On Golden Pond from Dave Grusin. the stillness, oh gosh, the dogs are up. The great stillness there of Dave Grusin's music, very haunting, one of the most beautiful, most popular things I play. Whenever I play that, there's always such a response. There's something magical in that music. Dave Grusin, great contemporary American composer of jazz fusion and of film music, and that of course his theme from On Garden Pond. In that rather substantial section of music I played before that, I played the beautiful Serenade Granada from the Suite Española by Isaac Albéniz, and adding to our summery, very warm tempo and our warm moods this evening, I started off with 2 Brazilian tangos by Ernesto Nazareth, Ranzinza, meaning excited, and Braillero. And well, those are very complicated little pieces of music to start the program. Everyone here, all 3 of our little family of puppets, the Wendy, Frida, and Lucy, were very, very quiet. But as soon as I stopped playing, they've all erupted. So, girls, you're going to have to wait. I'm coming to you now. I'm going to talk to you after in the next break. So I'm going to continue now with something completely different, a different style of music. I am coming back to the music of ragtime. Scott Joplin, a very happy piece of music. This is his ragtime dance. And it involves some extra activities for me in the music. There's a sort of what we call a stop time chorus, I think it is, where there's no bass, there's no rhythm. In fact, there are lots of silences in the music. And as the performer, I'm instructed to stamp my foot loudly. I'm wearing my best heels, there we go, on the wooden floor. And that's going to add a sort of stop time beat to the music there. After that, I'm going to play a little number by George Gershwin, one of his popular songs, My One and Only, but this in Gershwin's own arrangements. I find these pieces fascinating. I haven't played one for a very long time. Gershwin not only sometimes wrote down his own versions, popular solo piano versions, but actually recorded many of them on early records and piano rolls. And pianists have actually notated these recordings. In other words, they've listened to the recordings second by second for many, many times and written these notes down, improvising or giving us a real written version of how Gershwin himself would have improvised. So this music would have been recorded for purposes for not only singing but also for dancing. So this is My One and Only in Gershwin's own original improvisation on his popular song. And then I'm going to play a little piece by a colleague of George Gershwin called Zez Confrey. They used to spend many hours together in their early days in the Tin Pan Alley, playing songs from the Tin Pan Alley in popular supermarkets, department stores, should I say? Well, I suppose supermarkets in a way. Department stores in the music section, they would have been extemporizing around the latest songs of the day. Gershwin went on to write this huge number of incredible musicals, but Zez Confrey is really remembered for 1 or 2 of these popular piano solos, and this particular one, Dizzy Fingers, is a fun little piece of music. The music goes very fast around in circles, and keeping with that, Lucy's lying stretched out on her back. It's exactly what I feel like doing right now in this heat. It's rather warm here. And I'm going to end off this section then with one of my own compositions, a section from a piece called Conversations, which has a great sunny atmosphere of great vibrancy and joy. Barry's pointing to something. Am I looking at the wrong camera? Okay. I must look at that one, sorry. Okay. I think I missed that. So here we go. Joplin, Gershwin, Zez Confrey, and one of my own pieces. empty basket.
They all ran.
over. Come back. Come, girls. It's okay. I'm sorry. Yes, why was I making so much noise? So much noise playing the piano, and now much more noise with your feet. This just not. We were trying to have a snooze, a Wednesday evening snooze, and here you want to come stab right in our ears. Yes, that's okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Right, concentration. We need concentration for the next one. Well, it's a little bit of fun to end that section, a part of one of my own compositions, a piece called Conversations on the Midnight Blue album. Just a simple idea, which interesting chord progression, which is quite leads to a lot of possibilities. And before that, I played Zes Confrey's Dizzy Fingers, George Gershwin's own arrangement of My One and Only, and started off that selection with Scott Joplin's Ragtime Dance. Gosh, it's getting rather warm in here, but someone who's always wanting to be up close and on the picture is little Frida. Hello, Freeds. How are things today? Yes, it's been very warm. You've been sitting in the sun. You've got your special cushions outside on the veranda. Sitting in the sun, yes, you've been enjoying the sun, and then every now and again you get in the shade. No, you don't like getting in the swimming pool. No, you're right next to the swimming pool, but not in it. You're not a fan of being in the swimming pool. Oh, that's clever. You're very good, Frida. And who else is here? Here's little Wendy Pop. Hello, Wendy Pop, Wendy Pop, Wendy Pop. Little Wendy Pop, look how sweet you are. Oh, yes. Oh, Wendy Pop, you're very hot, sweetie. Yes, you've also been sitting in the sun all day. Wendy Pop, who likes to jump into the pool. Wendy Pop gets so excited sometimes. Wendy Pop jumped into the pool and attacked an inflatable lilo that I was sitting on. She bit it, so it wasn't floating for very long. Yes, you just like to attack. That's little Wendy Pop. And where's little Lucy? Come on, Luce. Are you going to come? No, not today. Come on, Lucy. No, not this time. We've got to wait a little longer. Gosh, it's getting very warm in here. So I am going to end this evening's program with 3 pieces of music by Frederick Chopin. As I mentioned earlier, I've been so inspired by the fantastic playing of the competitors or those taking part in the Chopin competition in Warsaw, which you can watch live on YouTube. Hours and hours of everything that's happened is all there and categorized according to the performers, and it's fascinating to see the number of people watching. 25,000 people watching live as this is happening. I know people are staying up all night in various parts of the world. They're hooked, absolutely mesmerized to see which pianist is going to produce what sound, and it's just really fantastic to see the minute details, changes in detail and style of each pianist who plays. And I happen to be, in fact, to be listening to some of the performances from the competition 30, 40 years ago, and they sounded like real amateurs in comparison by what one is seeing now. I mean, the standard of the playing and the level of the playing is just so incredibly high. I think it's amazing how the impact of the internet and YouTube, that not only we can watch this, but they actually, obviously many of these pianists have studied in great detail performances and recordings of other pianists and learned so much of the standard, and the detail in the performance is so incredibly refined and the standard so wonderfully high. So I've been inspired by that. I've learned so much, not only about these pianists, but also I think about what I see in it and what I think really works for Chopin's music. It's really been very inspiring. So I'm going to play 3 pieces for you. The first of which is a mazurka. The mazurka is in G minor from a set of compositions that was published just after Chopin's death. It was posthumous, found amongst his private papers. It's very haunting but very lovely little melody. A simple, beautiful waltz, opus 64, I think it is, 69 or 64, in D flat. Very beguiling piece, and every time I play this piece I've come across so many different ideas and possibly new approach to really try and get to the core of the music. And the last piece to end off this evening's program, the wonderful Barcarolle, one of Chopin's last compositions, one of his last big compositions that he wrote, the Barcarolle. A piece that really fits into our summer program, a piece of Venetian gondola music with this undulation of water. This wateriness, the beautiful fluidity of the sound. The whole composition is played or written in double notes in the right hand. So instead of just 2 notes in the hand. Well, I can play the right note, something like that. So it's almost as though they're 2 people, 2 lovers entwined throughout the whole composition. In the middle, there's a reference maybe to a gondola song. And just so many imaginative details in this music, incredibly impassioned, incredibly intense, wonderfully intense, but beautifully crafted, and really thought to be one of Chopin's finest and most beguiling compositions. So there's 3 compositions. First of all, the Mazurka in G minor, the Waltz in A flat, and the Barcarolle, Opus 60, to end this evening's piano hour program. incredibly, it's a word I use too much, wonderfully exciting music there. That's the beautiful barcarolle opus 60 F sharp major, key that Chopin reserved for his most passionate, most bejeweled, glorious pieces of music. F sharp major is a key that any composer really brings something very intense to. So that brings an end to this evening's session. The only thing, I've got little Lucy. Come on, Lucy. Yes, I can see you there. Everyone wants to see. We can't have a stream without little Lucy. Hello, little Luce. How are things? Oh yes, you are finding it very warm. You would like to be able to leave your coat at home and go around naked in the garden. A naked Lucy. Because it's very warm being a long-haired dachshund in such heat. Yes, I can see that. Little Luce. And Lucy, you seem very restful. Did you like the barcarolle? Yes, you did. But not so much the water. You're also not a big water fan. And apart from just hanging around and lounging around today, Lucy, what else did little Lucy do today? Nothing. Just nothing. Okay, Lucy, that's fine. You don't have to do anything. You're here. Thank you for coming on the stream tonight. I'm sure everyone's very, very pleased to see you and to have you part of the show, part of our online stream program. Thank you for everyone who's joining us tonight. Thank you, Barry, for the technical support, camera work. Hope you've enjoyed the change around and the beautiful flowers we have for you this evening. If you are able to support me as usual in these endeavors, bringing these streams to you on an ongoing basis, twice a week, we are really working very hard. I'm looking forward to continuing with this, and also, as I've mentioned, including some guest artists, which hopefully will be starting at the end of this month in October, and some exciting programs as always on Saturday and next week, Wednesday. If you would like to know more about that, please visit my website, and otherwise we'll just be here. We're always here at 6 o'clock on my channel at YouTube or on Facebook, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Look after yourself, keep well, and stay well.